I am Gilbert Rogers. I am the Director of Student Financial Wellness in the Student Success Center here at TU. Well, I started out as a finance major back at Western Kentucky University. Majoring in finance, I knew I wanted to work in personal finance to some degree. Eventually, I got the opportunity to work with the military in Fort Knox, Kentucky, doing financial counseling and coaching for the Army. And at that point, I realized that that's exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to work with individuals and talk about personal finances and help them to make the most of their financial situation. So that's kind of in a nutshell where the idea of working in financial wellness started. But from there, I researched, spent about 7 years researching financial wellness and financial literacy, just to better understand the concept of making the most of your money and understanding how to be the most responsible, how to make the best decisions. And doing that for about 6 years or so, I finally got the opportunity to make a career out of it. So that's what brought me to TU.
How can I build credit as a student?
Oh, great question. How can you build credit? How can a student go about building credit? One of the most important things that a student can do is go through the process to understand what credit is and how it works. Once you get that understanding, one thing you can do is become an authorized user on a parent's credit card. That's only if you're extremely responsible, if your parents can trust you to have their name tied to their credit card. And what that essentially does is it allows you to build credit while your parents use their credit or use the credit cards that they have. And that's one kind of easy way. Another thing you can do is get what is called a secured credit card. A secured credit card is a credit card where you put money up front into an account, and that money that you put up front becomes your account line, that becomes your account balance. And you use that credit card month after month in a revolving fashion, and that's how you kind of build up your credit without taking on the risk of extreme credit card debt.
Why are you bringing this program to TU?
This program is extremely important to TU as well as anyone else out there. Financial literacy is something that's oftentimes overlooked. They want to teach you how to invest without building the basics and teaching the basics of personal finance. So that's why it's important for us to educate and teach students about financial wellness so that they can make better decisions once they graduate from college. And also, when you think about that holistic view of a student being successful, the financial wellness aspect or component is something that's just as important as the time you spend here from an academic standpoint, the time you spend obtaining your degree. You also need to understand how to manage the money that you're going to make once you graduate. So that's why it's extremely important.
How can I better prepare myself to pay off my loans after I graduate?
Yes, great question. So how can you better prepare yourself to manage the loan debt that you have acquired while in college? One of the most important things that you can do is, one, learn to budget. Once you learn to budget, then things they tend to fall in place. You learn about how much money you have coming in, how much money you have going out, and then you begin to set boundaries and set parameters on your spending. That's the most important thing when it comes to money management, and also understanding your loan obligations once you graduate. If you know how much you have to pay back, you can begin to set a plan, put a plan in place. Also look at the types of loans you have. There may be the opportunity for loan forgiveness out there if you work in public service. So there are programs out there that can help you with student loan debt. You can also get under income-driven repayment plans. But the most important thing is to learn to budget and then learn what type of loans you have and what type of programs are out there to kind of support you as you pay those loans off.
Why is it so important to learn about financial wellness now?
So what should students know coming to a university as it relates to financial wellness? I would say the most important thing is to understand that there's a program out there for them that can support them, that can help them learn to budget, to manage their finances while in college, which will hopefully carry on into adulthood and once they graduate. But also students need to get a basic understanding of their credit while in college. And last but not least, they need to learn to protect their identity. I think identity theft is something that is extremely, it's rising, it's definitely on the rise. More and more students who don't take the time to check their credit, they could be affected by identity theft. So students need to understand their credit situation, what shows up on their credit report, and once they understand that, make good decisions in relation to how to build up their credit.